Olive doesn't exist. Sorry. It's a makeup term. I blame Tika.
Apparently, olive is not an undertone. Is actually correct. It is actually an overtone. That is why I always say I'm neutral olive. But I do think having an olive overtone still affects your color analysis. Olive overtone simply means that you have a green gray cast over your skin versus undertone is the hue of your skin, how cool or how warm your skin is. So if you watch my undertone video, I specifically say olive is actually an overtone. It's always neutral olive, cool olive, or warm olive. Most of us have in common is really bright colors tend to make the rest of our face look washed out. For analysis in Korea, I got a deep autumn palette, which is darker muted tones because muted tones work a lot better when you have olive skin. While a deep autumn palette is harmonious with my skin tone, I prefer a deep winter palette because it just pops on my skin. Let me know what you think about color analysis because I have some thoughts. Now, instead of buying the stupid blue pigment to neutralize your orange foundations, buy this $12 drugstore foundation. It already has the blue pigment in it. Tell me why. Of all the 50 foundations I've tried, this is the one I always come back to. But look at that shade match to my neck, and it's literally $12. Talking about the L'Oreal True Match foundation, it literally has the blue pigment, which is why it's not orange. Look what I found. It now has a concealer. Of course, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna put it on one half of my face. Their new Radiant Serum Concealer. Oh my god, this actually looks really freaking good, and the shade range was so good. I feel like it's probably more helpful to compare it to nothing. The before and the after with the foundation and concealer. Bitch, you can't tell me that doesn't look like my skin. I'm obsessed. L'Oreal, you really did. What is a mistake someone with olive skin could make, which is forgetting my foundation at home. So let's go to Sephora in New York and see if we could find some shade matches. Makeup by Mario extended the shade ranges in his foundations and came out with more neutral shades. So I thought 18.5 neutral would work for me, but it was still too orange. Usually can get away with neutral foundations, someone with olive skin, but I need an olive foundation. The best foundation matches that I have at home is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This has olive in every single depth and it was the perfect match. Everyone has kept telling me to go try the Dior Backstage foundation because it has a lot of olive foundations, but it had like one shade in my depth. But don't be fooled by the Sephora lighting. That's why you're always seeing me swatch all these foundations on my face and then I go outside and I shade match. I actually found a new shade in the Estee Lauder foundation, but Dior was a no, and I did end up getting some samples. A restock of my favorite LYS Beauty Stick foundation. I went to Fenty because in their new Luminous foundation, I felt like I had a pretty good shade match. 45 claimed to be warm olive, but it was definitely giving orange, but 360 was a good match. Everyone's kept telling me to try Merit Beauty, but they have so few brown shades and this one's just red. I love me my NARS light reflecting foundation, but they got rid of my best shade, which is Huahine. So I went to see if Tahoe was a better shade match, but it was just orange. Even the House Labs just runs so Oompa Loompa orange on my skin tone. Literally see it worse in natural lighting. I think we found 2 to 3 good contenders. Okay, we got a couple, mostly samples because I already got them at home. I'm not trying to waste. Life of a green brown skin girl.